Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're back, baby. We got myself, Nick, and Julius. Nick Robin, nice Jameer Gibbs t-shirt, and I love the Christmas hat too. Is that the same one they gave away during the season last year? Because I know they did a Lions Christmas hat giveaway, I don't think
No,
it is.
no,
They're the
I
Bud
bought
Light
this
sponsors.
probably a decade ago, and every
Okay.
year it just runs it out. You know what I mean? Once December hits, it never comes off my head, dude. I don't shower. I don't do anything.
I'll tell you what, a Lions Christmas hat, nothing beats it, man. Nothing beats it.
It's true.
Julius, what's going on, my man? How are you doing? We were talking a little adapting to this Germany weather you got. So how is it missing the Texas heat? Have the kids really noticed? Like, Dad, what's going on? Where's my 80 son?
Yeah, my kids they definitely noticed. It's just crazy because when we left Texas in early September, it was in like the 110s. It was like a major heat wave going on. We didn't have rain for like the last 75 days. Last time I experienced rain in Texas was like back in May. And then we come here and now it's 30 degrees. and raining every day. And just great. And it's like, okay, we gotta adjust.
That is brutal, dude.
You gotta get used to the seasons again, like Michigan.
You had a luxury life living in Texas.
I did. I grew up with Michigan weather.
You got snow last year for the first time, and you were like, "Oh my God, snow!"
I grew up with Michigan weather, and I'm actually a fan of the four seasons. You know, to say what it is, but 11 years in Texas and sunshine it gets to you.
Yeah, it will get to you, dude. I'm sorry. I'm over here trying to get our link out. Me and Adam doing the same thing. We just left you hanging.
I love that. No, Julius, I kind of disregarded you and had to peep on what my boy Joe Drape said. He commented on our live stream going on. He goes, I'm pretty sure he's commenting on you, Julius. He goes, in other words, grass is green and the sky is blue, and fuck the Bears.
Hey, I'm making a t-shirt, bro. That's a t-shirt worthy saying right there.
Grass is green, sky is blue. Hashtag FTB.
FTB.
All right, boys. We got a good episode today. We're going to be recapping just a little bit of the Saints game because if you guys did tune in, we were doing a full live stream for the Saints-Lions game. It was pretty good. It was,
fun.
Some ups and downs. We got to, talk about a blowout that seemed like was coming. Then we got to, step back to reality and realize that it's never an easy win for Lions fans, no matter what. If it's the same old Lions or if it's these Lions, it's never going to be easy for us. And that's all right. As long as we get the dub, that's all that matters. And we did. And we did it in a nice fashion. So Lions, we raced out to a 21-0 lead. Boys, we all thought this was going to be a beatdown. Point spread was, I believe, at like 23.5 at one point. Me and you were talking about it, Nick, and you said, I don't know, man, might want to take that Saints points. That's a lot of points for this Lions defense. And sure enough, Saints got themselves back in the game. But ultimately, Nick, what were some of the big X factors on how the Lions just finished off the Saints? Obviously, Derek Carr going out at the end of the game helped a little bit, but was there anything else that you really noticed that was a major factor?
Yeah, most definitely. First and foremost, I would like to say our stream was probably the biggest X factor because that was so much fun. We bring so much energy. It's just a lot of good conversation. We can't show the game, but it's really fun. And if for anyone watching right now, man, just put us in the background, watch the game with us and comment. We love to, we'll talk all the comments and talk about them, and any questions we'll answer. So that's really cool. To answer the real question, Bruce Irvin was the big X factor. I mean, sure, Derek Carr got injured, but that's because Bruce Irvin just went dog on him and just landed right on top of him. Got fined $7,000, I think, for it. But it was a big moment. Peak performer last week, I called him out. Sam Laporta, dude. He was just the game changer. Jared Goff with no turnovers. We talked about that being a huge X factor in the game, was do not turn the ball over. So those would be like my big X factors. Bruce Irvin, Sam Laporta. What up, Biz? And Jared Goff, no turnovers.
Yeah, Laporta was huge. Nick, you were talking about it big time. Seems like you're always preaching for a big Laporta game. But nonetheless, shout out to you, my guy, Nick. You helped me earn the #1 tight end ranking spot for Fantasy Pros this week. I had Laporta at like my number 3 tight end. Then you gassed him up on our podcast. And last minute, I went in. I'm like, you know what? Laporta's finishing as the top tight end this week. Sure enough, he did. And that's what got it done. So good call on that one, Nick. Laporta, though, he's not done yet. He still has one more feat to accomplish. Nick, you know what it is. It's that 3 touchdown game, baby. I don't care if it comes at the end of this season and the next season. Just before your first 100 games, Sam Laporta, get it done, and you'll make me a profit.
Yes. You got 100 games to hit 3 touchdowns, Laporta. Don't fuck it up.
All right, Julius, other than Sam Laporta and I guess Bruce Irvin with the big hit, was there any other major contributors? Because Amon-Ra was a little quiet. He did have that one nice touchdown, but ultimately it did seem like it was Sam Laporta's show. So if you take away him, who was next man up on getting us this victory?
I mean, if you kind of think about it, next man up is Jameson Williams. Every time you get this dude the ball, his touchdown rate got to be in like 15%.
25% at his
25.
Yeah.
Every time he touches the ball, bro, he has a chance to take it to the house. He's an X factor. I don't care. His stat percentage needs to go up.
Yeah.
At any moment in the game, I expect a J-Mo touchdown, just on like a reverse, on a screen, on a play action fly, just all kinds of stuff. I would say Jameson Williams was a major contributor, even though he didn't have like 8 targets and 7 catches like we all hope and pray one day he will. Another guy that was also a major contributor in my mind, well, kind of 2, and they were both rookies, Brian Branch and Jack Campbell on defense, who stepped up big time, even though the defense was really the reason we struggled to put New Orleans away. Brian Branch continues to be a force. He might be a Pro Bowl rookie at this point. And Jack Campbell, I mean, he's had a ton of, we've been down on Jack Campbell. He hasn't really stepped up like we hoped he would. But I think he stepped up last game and really contributed to the win against the Saints. And I'm okay with him being 1A, 1B with Anzalone the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah, I just need Jack just kind of do what he's been doing. You know, every bad game, it seems like the next game he kind of bounces back from it. We haven't really seen a long slump. There's been a couple, back-to-back bad games, but I haven't really seen like 3 straight where it's like, oh man, he's struggling out here. It's usually he'll have a bad game, maybe another bad half, and then looks good, or he'll just look good that first game and then, bad. But ultimately, he's showing me he can play at a Pro Bowl caliber linebacker position. Maybe not right now, but we've seen it at his peak. So if he can just put it all together at once, then Jack Campbell, I think we could have a solid linebacker on our hands.
We're also speaking on Jack Campbell like he's a 5-year veteran. You know what I mean? Like the dude's played in 12 NFL games. You know what I mean? Sure, some of them have been tough because the linebacker position is tough, but we all talked about it last week. He had to step up against Kamara, and he did. Like, it was great. Kamara got the receptions for Adam to hit, but was limited in his production, in my opinion. And Jack Campbell had a lot to do with that. He looked really well, and I'm very excited to see him moving forward. For everyone who's still upset about him being a first-round draft pick, sucks for you. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Get over it.
He's coming around. He's got another day to prove it, too. This Bears game, Anzalone is coming back, so it will be nice to have his little right-hand man back. But ultimately, this Saints game, another kind of important game because just NFC opponent, these are the games that, like, you shouldn't – they're not gimmies, but you should win them, essentially. And the Saints offense hadn't looked, too good. Granted, it was mostly kind of Kamara just kind of gashing us up towards the end and a little bit of Taysom Hill, but ultimately it wasn't anything like what we saw in the first couple weeks. It was really weird. The Lions defense played lights out the first half, and then the second half they kind of got exposed as opposed to what they've been doing in the season where the first half, they kind of get exposed, then they make adjustments in the second half and look a little better. So Aaron Glenn, it always seems like he has one great half, one bad half. If he could just, figure out how to get 2 great halves, then, man, he could be the guy because I'm starting to see both sides of it where it's like, man, Glenn just can't keep, doing what he's been doing, letting our defense just getting spanked. But then again, if you kind of break it down, there's halves and quarters where our defense just looks top 5, top 7. It's like, this isn't fluky. There's some schemes, some schematics going on here that Glenn has helped make and happen. So I still am, on the Glenn train of, not sure what to do with him. But I think this Bears game will be a big tell on just what his future will be moving forward, because I don't think his job is completely safe. And these last 3 games, it started off the Bears game. We struggled early and then found a way to win. And then the Packers game, we just struggled the entire game, lost. And then the Saints game, we went up big early and then struggled late and still won. So it's like, what's going to happen in this Bears game? It seems like these last 3 weeks have all been different. So I'm eager to see what happens. But one thing's for sure, we got to stop that Bears rush. So let's do a little segue into this Bears game. There is some injuries going on. Frank Ragnow has been ruled out. He's not going to play. And the big news, Aleem Buttercup McNeil was put on IR, looking like he'll be back for playoffs, but not for these next 4 weeks, obviously. CJ Gardner-Johnson has been posting a lot of just cryptic little December 20th type of return dates. Nothing has been official. That's only been what he said. Obviously, he still has to go through team doctors, coaches, all that to get cleared. But if he's saying December 20th is his return date, that is, I believe, week 6 or 4 days before week 16. So even if he does take an extra 3 weeks, it still puts him on pace back for the first round of playoffs. So good news there. And then also Anzalone is looking like he will be suiting back up. So to get him back, that'll be nice. We saw Kamara kind of take over the game in the second half. And I feel like if we had Anzalone there, it would be a little bit different. So ultimately it'll be nice to see him back. But Julius, any of these injuries, between Aleem and Frank, and I guess Bruce Irvin, he did have a nice sack and kind of knocked out Derek Carr last week, so he kind of contributes. But between Aleem and Frank, who do you think we're going to miss the most?
I'm going to say Frank Ragnow. I'm going to say Frank Ragnow, but it's pretty close because they're both very intricate to both sides of the line of scrimmage. They both play on the nose of the ball at the point of attack. It seems like it's going to disrupt things on both sides. But I'm going to say Frank Ragnow is the bigger loss just because he's a Pro Bowl center. We've had him for so long. He's been anchoring us. But Aleem McNeil has been one of our best defensive linemen outside Aiden Hutchinson. And I don't know who's going to really replace him. Maybe Benito Jones or Broderick Martin. I don't know. I'm worried about both. I'm not even going to lie. I'm worried about our defense the most because I don't think we can cover. And so a big reason I don't think we can cover is because we have a bad pass rush win rate outside of Aiden Hutchinson. Nobody else sheds blocks on this team, it seems. And that's not likely to change. So I just hope and pray that Justin Fields has a turnover play game and that our playmakers like Brian Branch, Alex Anzalone, the linebackers I'm not too much worried about. That defensive line is what's been underwhelming for the Lions. Aiden Hutchinson, he can have all the pressures on planet Earth and be rated the best edge defender in the league by PFF. He's not getting to the quarterback. So I need somebody else to step up on defense, and I don't know who that's going to be. Usually I would hope it's Aleem McNeil, but he's not here today. So it's really hard to say, but I still think Frank Ragnow is the bigger loss. I think after he got injured last game, Sorsdo moved to right guard after Glasgow went to center, and it caused some, miscommunications, some out of chemistry, mistakes were happening on the offensive line, and we don't need that. Because the Lions' offensive line is their strength and their bedrock. And that's how we run the ball. That's how we protect Jared Goff and make sure he don't get all shriveled up and scared and start doing stupid stuff. Next thing you know, he got a 3-turnover game, all because of Frank Ragnow being injured. I hope that this all gets out-coached, guys, these worries, because that's what's going to happen. We're going to need Sorsdow to come in sharp. And we're going to need people on our defensive line, players, to step up. Charles Harris, Julian Okwara, Broderick Martin, all these guys. Somebody has to step up.
Isaiah
I
Bugs
agree.
time, baby.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, Nick. You took the words right out of my mouth. Isaiah Bugs or even Broderick Martin. We need one of these guys that have kind of just been
Bugs
not, yeah, guys that have been healthy scratches, where it's kind of Levi, someone step up because the door is open. There's a chance for one of you guys to become, have a chance at becoming a starter, not just a rotational guy, not just a backup. If you prove yourself this game, you will get a lot more play time. And not just because you'll get a lot more play time next week because Liam is out, but next 3 weeks because Liam's out for 4 weeks. So it's like if one of these Levi, Broderick, Bucks steps up big and becomes that, centerpiece, nose tackle, or even just, tackle player, I need one of those guys to just become what they were drafted to. Levi, second rounder. We traded up for Broderick Martin. Bugs, Bugs was I think an undrafted free agent or a free agent signing or something.
He was with Pittsburgh. Yeah.
He was with Pittsburgh.
Either way, Bugs has a little more chip on his shoulder as opposed to those two guys who have to prove it more. So it's like one of you three. Prove it, baby.
Prove it. We went and added Bruce Irvin. He got a sack last week. This week we added Tyson Alualu. We also added a cornerback that started how many games with the Bears? I think it was like 22 games with the Bears over the last whatever amount of years. His name escapes me. Oh, Kendall Vildor. So we've added some people to try to, I think Brad Holmes sees that the depth and defense is non-existent. So he's trying to add some of these pieces late. And everyone wanted him to trade away our picks to get players that can add depth. But he's doing it through the free agency. He's not scared to get guys who haven't played yet this year. So we'll see what Tyson Alualu, who is not playing this week, I believe, but should be upcoming and will help out over the course of the 4-week span while Ali McNeil's gone. So I'm very interested. But Bugs has to step up. Josh Pascal has to step up. We need Kaminsky to step up. We need our entire defensive line to step up. Whether it's nose tackle, whether it's your 3-tech, whether it's on the edge, it doesn't matter. They all have to do better. We cannot live the way we're living. It's not good. So I'm very curious to see what happens with Aleem out for 4 weeks and what our defense does, but we brought in some people, so we'll see how that goes. I wish Irvin was playing this week. He was, I think, a menace last week. I mean, we saw him get the sack and that was huge, but other than that, he was around plays. So I want to see him going. We won't see him this week, but moving forward, I want to see him.
And not to mention another guy, Quentin Bohanna, who wreaked a little havoc in the last Bears game. The dude literally came out of nowhere. I was watching the game at a bar. I saw him make a sack, and I'm like, oh, is that Levi? Oh, is that Okwara? Who the hell is that? Bohanna? Who? What? Huh? I had literally never heard of Quentin Bohanna until he made a sack, or maybe it was a tackle for loss in that Bears game 3 weeks ago. And now, he's going to get some more significant time, showed that he's to do something, but this dude kind of came out of nowhere. Am I wrong? Or was he a practice squad guy? Or does anyone know where Quentin Bohanna came from?
Quentin Bohanna, man. Trying to think, what's the South Park song with Eric Botana, or whatever his name is? What would Brian Boitano do? That's what it is. That's what I was thinking. Anyways, I have no idea where he came from. No, I don't know. Julius, any idea?
I know he played for the Cowboys. No. He started some games for, was it the Cowboys last year? No. Yeah. It was with Dallas. He started a few games with Dallas. Don't know where he comes from. Rutgers?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Practice with us out of Kentucky. I got him right here.
Okay.
But then, played for Dallas since 2021. Came over to us, practice squad in August of this year, activated in November. A little Bohanna breakdown for you guys.
Well, you know who Kentucky boy we need to step up to? Josh Pascal, baby. Another one of those guys that I'd like to see step up. That's has a little chip on his shoulder. 2nd round pick. Let's make it count, baby. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah. We need everything we can get against Justin Fields, dude. He's gonna run the ball a lot.
That's gonna be the tough one. Is containing Fields. I'll just jump into it right away. Fields, his over-under right now is set at 64.5, which is like quite high for a quarterback. Even if it's a mobile quarterback, 64.5 is just ridiculous. You're pretty much punching him in for a touchdown on fantasy, essentially. So Fields, if we can just keep him under 50 yards, I don't see a way we lose this game. If under 50 yards and just the offense plays just okay, like one interception, one turnover, we could afford. But if Fields goes off for like 125 yards, like he has a couple times against the Lions, that could be problemsome. We kind of saw him. He felt really comfortable in that pocket that first game. It seemed like knew where to step up and had much better feel of it. And also another thing, I want to I want to see Hutch get better contained. It seemed like the tackles knew how to block him out of the play. And they kind of like expected his rush and would just kind of like guide him out, where Hutch would just be like going hard. His motor would be amped up. And the next thing you know, Fields steps up 2 yards and Hutch is 10 yards out of the play, and Fields has an extra, few seconds to throw, run, whatever. But ultimately, I want to just make sure, I keep saying make sure because like I have something to do with it, but I want Hutch to make sure that he gets good contained, doesn't, feel like, oh, I'm getting the edge. And the next thing you know, he gets the edge on the right tackle and is way outside of, the tackle box or whatever. So if he notices, being able to get around that corner, it might not be, it might just be an illusion of what the tackle wants him to do. So just try to, stay contained. We've seen him grab the pads before, ball hawk, look for the quarterback. And if he can do that, just kind of keep Fields in that pocket, force him to throw. Don't see a way the Lions lose this game. But then again, it is the Lions. We've been playing a little, risque the last couple weeks, so anything can happen. But ultimately, Nick, what's one big thing we need to focus on stopping outside of Justin Fields running? Because I feel like that's the elephant in the room.
I do want to get to that answer, but I am going to just kind of read some stats off for anyone who isn't familiar with Justin Fields versus the Detroit Lions. Over the last 3 games, he has 383 rushing yards combined. That is over 100 yards every single game. Now, it has gone down from 147 to 132 to 104. But at the last 3 games versus the Detroit Lions, he's rushed for over 100 yards. He has also fumbled in every game. It's just like, it has to be stopped. Like it is vital. It is imperative that we do everything we can to make sure we eliminate his legs. My man over here said it, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know where it is anymore, but sweep the legs, dude. No mercy. Just do whatever you have to do. That right there. I am nervous as hell. I really am. Other than that, we have to eliminate DJ Moore. We have to eliminate that. Like we can't allow the Fields to DJ Moore connection, because honestly, Fields will probably run for 100 yards against us. That's just, the odds are that he's going to rush for 100 yards against us. He does every single time he plays us. If that happens and you allow DJ Moore to catch for 100 yards, that you're setting yourself up for a 31-30 game. And we don't want that kind of game. We want a 31-10 game. So we have to stop DJ Moore. I don't care about Khalil Herbert. I don't care about Cole Kmet. I don't care about Roshan Johnson. I don't care about their offensive line. I don't care about their defense. Nothing. They do have Montez Sweat. He was kind of an annoyance last time. So I would like to eliminate their pass rush, but whatever. It's not going to happen like that. I just want to stop DJ Moore. If we're not going to stop Justin Fields, stop DJ Moore. I think that's the only way they can win, is if both of them go off.
And I'm trying to think, at first I thought Montez Sweat wasn't on the Bears when we played, but was he?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I thought.
And I think he sacked us. I think he sacked Goff.
I think he did too.
I'm pretty positive.
Anyways, but yes, you're 100% right, Nick. Montez Sweat, ever since he joined the Bears, he looked pretty good. And hopefully he's on that left side. I would like Penny blocking him. I know Decker is good, but we've seen Decker, time to time, he slips up a bit, and that's all right. But Penny, I'm 100% confident would be able to lock down Sweat. But it kind of just depends where he lines up, because obviously we're not putting Penny to the left side. But Julius, we're taking away Sweat. We're taking away Fields. What is the third and final, I guess, big thing we have to watch, focus on, or make sure it doesn't happen, I guess, for the Lions to get the dub?
The Lions have to get Fields, right? They got to get him contained. He is everything to the Bears. I don't know what they can do that they haven't tried already. However, I don't trust Fields as a passer. I really don't. If the weather is going to be off, it's going to be off for Fields too. You know what I'm saying? Make him throw. But I don't know how you do that, but you have to make him throw. If he beats us with his arm, if he has 400 yards passing and 3-4 touchdowns, I promise, and they will win the game. They will win the game. But the chances of him doing that are very low. He has not proven that he's a capable, consistent thrower of the football. They have to contain Justin Fields. I mean, Nick, you just talked about it for 5 minutes. Now, the whole time you were talking about it, I was just agreeing with you because I just don't see nothing else on the Bears. DJ Moore is a great receiver. You're right. Justin Fields has to throw him the football. He needs time to throw the football in the pocket. Don't let, you know what I'm saying, don't let him get outside the pocket and just take off on you. He has to be contained. He has to be pressured. What we brought at the end of that last drive against the Bears when Aiden Hutchinson just demolished Darnell Wright, and Justin Fields didn't see him coming, we need to find that. We need to find some of that. Whatever that was before that drive that made that happen, that's what needs to happen. I mean, I really don't – there's no other Bear that I'm worried about outside of Justin Fields, DJ Moore, and that's it.
Yeah.
Their defense is asinine.
Yeah.
I expect our offensive line and our run game to do what they got to do against the Bears. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about our offense.
Hold on, boy. Oh, yeah, hello? Oh, the what? Oh, breaking news, boys. The Bears are trash.
Oh,
Who's got a first-in call?
Bears
live on air.
Bears are trash, baby.
You contain Justin Fields, you beat the Bears. That's the point of the game.
Yeah.
Literally, they don't have a speck of talent elsewhere that, like, oh my gosh, DJ Moore, took 6 screen passes for 122. It's like could happen maybe, but it's like if you stop Fields, that's you're good. You're good. You are good. Also, little Dad, if you were watching, go check downstairs at the bar. Got a little surprise for you. Not really, but so we have a little chalkboard downstairs on our bar, and my dad, anyone that comes over just likes to write little messages on it. So the message on there right now is breaking: the Bears are trash.
Yeah. They are, though. They really are. They really are. We can't what we can't have happen is for us to wait until a stupid ass Justin Fields little dance to get us motivated to win the game. Like I ain't trying to see Fields dance at all this game, dude. In fact, I want to see him bloody, muddy, and something else that rhymes.
Tablet throwing. I want the head ducking. I want
Bears Twitter posting mock drafts at halftime.
Yes, bro. Yes. Oh, that is great, dude. That is great. This is what I needed, dude. I wasn't feeling well this week. This show is exactly what I needed to really kind of pick my spirits up, dude. What a great show this is. Fuck the Bears, man. You see, we got some Bears people in our comments, dude. It's fun. Good times, dude. It's a fun rivalry. It's fun.
All right, the Lions opened up as 3.5-point favorites, over under at 43.5. And each week, boys, it's looking like we are going to be doing a little new segment, Parlay Lions Game of the Week. Nick, you want to break it down for us?
Real quick, I want to correct what we just had up there. Darnell Wright is 13th highest graded offensive tackle in ass blocking, I'm pretty sure is what he meant to say. So, yeah, he's got a lot of good ass blocking out there. That's about all he's got. Definitely not pass. Anyways, yes, new segment. We're doing some gambling. Join along. Make sure you go on FanDuel. Put your bet down. Let's all win money together. I had the first leg of our 3-leg parlay. And because of this stat that I tweeted out, the Chicago Bears are number 1 in the NFL in most yards allowed to the opposing running back receiving-wise. Most receiving yards allowed to the opposing running back, with over 700 receiving yards allowed to the opposing running back, where number 2 was like 589, like more than 100 yards less than the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears cannot stop a pass-catching running back. Jahmyr Gibbs, I believe his receiving yards were set at 28.5 is where we have it. So I am smashing over 28.5 for Jahmyr Gibbs receiving yards. In fact, and a few of my parlays, I took him at 50+ yards. So the first leg of the parlay was Jahmyr Gibbs over 28.5 receiving yards, or whatever it's set at, 26.5, 28.5. I can't remember. Take it no matter what.
Interesting. Charles Harris is a healthy scratch, but he actually might finish. But I think he's healthy scratch. So, John Kaminsky stepping up, maybe? I don't know. They just did release the official injury reports. It is Stephen Gilmore, Antonio Green, Charles Harris, Chase Lucas, Trevor Nawasake. I hope I pronounced that wrong. And Frank Ragnow are all out. So that means Alex Anzalone is good to go. He will be back. So that will be nice. But Nick, to piggyback off what you're saying, Jahmyr Gibbs, yes, you called this in, ironically, the first Bears matchup we had. This was our first little parlay of the week or whatever. Us three guys would do a little, each pick one from the Lions game to put in a little parlay. And Nick, you took the Gibbs over. I think it was exactly what it was right now, 27 to 28 yards. And I'm almost positive he hit it in like the first two drives. I'm 100% sure he hit it in the first half because I remember we were like, all right, Nick's good. I think I had Monty touchdown. And then what costed us was Julius
6.5
had drank the Honolulu Blue and had -6.5. And if it wasn't for stupid Darnell Wright kicking the ball out of the end zone, Hutch would have had it. And yes, we had it, you know, Julius, I know you knew the script. You saw the Lions had essentially just a lay on the football for a not game week touchdown, but a spread covering touchdown. And it's looking like we're about to do it. Then Darnell Wright was like, nope, screw you, Lions betters.
He watched our show, bro. He know. He followed us. He saw our tweets.
That's it.
Let me tell you something, though. We also missed a 2-point conversion that effed it. And not to mention, we started off the game 21-zip. I had the 6.5 in my pocket in the first 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Thanks a lot, Aaron Glenn.
Guys, real quick, too, I wanted to bring this up before we get into I know we're really dragging out this parlay. Did you know who is the Lions have allowed less points this year than the Philadelphia Eagles? Like, I think we need to just tone it back a little bit. Like, I know we just want shutouts week after week after week, but like the Eagles have allowed more points than us. Like, it's not the Seahawks have allowed more points than us. Like, which I mean, you know, it's just comparable with the Eagles. I think we're okay. We're okay, boys. We're okay. Anyways, what did you pick for your leg of the parlay, Adam?
Didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. And when Justin Fields took his over, Nick, you were just saying it. He's rushed for 100 yards at least his last 3 games. I'm almost positive he averages, I heard a 97.1 stat. I don't know how accurate it is, but it was like something like 100. He's had 103 yards averaged his entire career against the Lions or something. So Fields just absolutely tears us up on the ground. Looks just, I don't know. That's all he can do, I guess. He is, you know, really fast, one of the fastest quarterbacks in the NFL, so that kind of helps out as well. But ultimately, what I was thinking is if Fields doesn't hit this number, Lions are definitely winning this game. Knock wood. But if Fields does hit this number, then hopefully we'll win some money. So ultimately, we got Gibbs over 28.5 receiving yards, Justin Fields over 64.5 rush yards, and Julius, take us away for the final leg.
I'm capping it off with Revenge Game Part 2, David Montgomery, anytime touchdown. At the goal line, he's going to want it against the Bears in Chicago, against that crowd. Give Monty the ball. I can almost guarantee it happens. That's why it was a great question. And you threw it in the chat, Adam. Who do you think is most likely to score a touchdown in this game? And in the first person.
That was a great question I threw in the chat.
David Montgomery. That's my part of the parlay. I feel confident this week. I don't know what could obviously happen. I don't know. Maybe another assistant coach like Ben Johnson just rips my heart out and just doesn't give Monty the ball on that goal line. Just play action golf to Laporta and he gets his 3 TDs. Who knows? But chances are I'm going with the Monty Cash anytime TD.
And
And
Monty,
32 degrees in Chicago all during games. So it's
Speaking
going
of
Monty used to that, baby. He used
yeah,
to.
exactly. Yeah, yep,
That's
exactly.
true, yeah. Speaking of the weather, boys, I don't know if you guys saw Jared Goff in one of his media reports. He's in the locker room. They counted eight
Eight,
questions, weather related, all in just one like little sit down. Not like over a course of like 5 different, media appearances. This was one little 30-minute session where 8 different, maybe not 8 different reporters, but 8 different questions pertaining about the weather were asked to Jared Goff. And at one point he goes, I feel like I've been asked this question a couple times. And you got the counter in the top right hand corner, and it's at like 7. And Jared Goff notices it when it's at like 7. So it's like, man, you simmered down here. So what I'm hoping for, honestly, I want to see Jared Goff just tear up Soldier Field, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, Amon-Ra, 100 yards, Sam Laporta, a touchdown, just an absolute air raid gouging from Jared Goff. I want him to show not just Lions fans, but all the NFL, hey, this cold weather thing, that's a thing in the past. That was Rams Jared Goff. You see Arrowhead, wasn't bright and sunny there, and I performed. You see Lambeau Field early on, wasn't bright and sunny there, and I performed. You see the Bears in Soldier Field, he's going to perform. I'm not calling it yet because it has to happen, but Jared Goff would love to see him just prove the dumb media, all these stupid reporters that are like, oh, cold day today. Got to ask Jared Goff about the weather because he's terrible in cold games. So Jared Goff, I know he hears it. I know he's just like, you know what? I'm done with this stuff. 35 degrees, 70 degrees, it don't matter. 300 yards coming your way.
Yes, I love it. Like Goff goes out there and just shuts up everyone about the cold weather and the field conditions. That'd be great. I don't really understand why the field conditions are so bad. Like, sure, it's chilly out, but it's not raining. It's not snowing. It's just going to be 30 degrees. It's going to be chilly. You know what I mean? That's not bad field conditions. Like, that's just a cold day. And when we played the Giants last year, wasn't it like freezing? Wasn't it like 30 degrees? And we went out and whooped them in New York, like 30-12 or something like that. So I'm not worried about Goff by any means, but I just do think that this means it's going to be more of a Amon-Ra St. Brown 10 catches, Laporta a lower catches because Laporta isn't the middleman. Like when we get to the ball to Laporta, it's normally like a decent sized chunk play. Like it's not just a 5-yard turn
like
curl
a
or anything like that. Exactly. Amon-Ra St. Brown is our guy under the 10-yard catch. And then if not him, it'll be Gibbs. And then we're just going to run the ball. Monty's over under right now set at 60.5, I think, rushing yards. I love that over. I love Jahmyr Gibbs over receiving because, like I said, who's our quarterback? Jared Goff, not Sam Laporta, is going to check that down quite a bit to Gibbs. I got him over 3.5 total receptions as well. So I'm not nervous about the field conditions at all, but I am also even less nervous about our 3-leg parlay. If you didn't catch it, make sure you go with Jahmyr Gibbs over 28.5 receiving yards, Justin Fields over 64.5 rushing yards, and David Montgomery anytime touchdown. I believe we said $20 gets us about
120. So it's plus 600.
Plus 600, 120. Yep. So make sure you run that, and let's all win money together.
Yes, sir. And then also, too, check the pinned tweet. If David Montgomery happens to get 2 touchdowns, we'll be giving away a Detroit Lions jersey or some cash for the Christmas holidays. So, Monty, you never know. He's coming back, first time playing in Soldier Field since he left there. Can't imagine he's not, hungry, ready to prove something. Last time we played the Bears, I was worried as hell because I had Monty to score a touchdown on a lot of my parlays. And sure enough, he got the game winner, actually, was the Monty touchdown, and they gave it to him. It was so perfect. It was very nice how they did it. So I don't know if they will, force feed him the touchdown. Like, I feel like if it's Gibbs back there, Gibbs is getting the touchdown. But I do feel like Monty will have an extra, no, I gotta get this, baby. I'm getting this.
Not just that, we saw last week when Gibbs had an amazing run from the 40 down to the 2-yard line, just broke speed against the Saints and immediately brought Montgomery in. I think Gibbs will get like a few red zone carries here and there throughout the season, which he has already. I think that continues. Monty's our goal line dude. There ain't no doubt about it. If we get down to the 1, 2, 3, it's Monty all day. Even at 5, like it's Monty all day.
And while we're talking about it, boys, I'll ask you first, Julius. Which burst made you more like, oh, I like that? Was it the Jahmyr Gibbs when he hit that hole right up the middle? It was like the first drive, or was it J-Mo's touchdown? Because both of them, they saw daylight and flipped on the Jets and were gone.
I'm going to say J-Mo. And the reason I'm going to say J-Mo, because I was about to talk about J-Mo for this game, because I don't know if it's happened the last couple games, but I'm a believer in J-Mo at this point. I'm not even going to shy away from it. Bury me in a year from now if I'm wrong. But J-Mo is a special NFL player, and he has the potential to be the best offensive weapon on our team immediately, like this game, starting now. So I would say when I saw J-Mo's burst, they gave him that reverse. He was like 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage on the opposite field. He turned that thing on a perfect angle at 24 miles per hour. That's special, guys. That's Tyreek Hill special. Honestly, and I've seen a lot of comparisons, but if we can start using him in our offense more, just giving him more of these open field touches, big things can happen. Big things.
It stinks.
No, not hating on Jahmyr Gibbs, though, by the way. Not hating on Jahmyr Gibbs. I love his burst. I love his potential. It's just that J-Mo has that special speed.
Yeah, he does.
Also,
he truly does. Like the way he Madden dived in after that touchdown was just fucking phenomenal, dude.
Coaches didn't like that though. They're like, let's simmer down on diving in on your head on the end zone.
Probably true. It's probably smarter, but it looked awesome, dude. And Julius called it immediately. Madden dive. I was like, it was the Madden dive. That's awesome.
And then also, I don't know how true this is, but I saw someone tweet it, so I'm just going to say it's true. Every game, J-Mo has scored a touchdown, and I'm pretty sure we've won. So I will go back and look into that, but at least the Bears game, we came back and won. The Saints game, we won. His first touchdown against the Vikings, we won. I think he has one more, but ultimately –
Tampa Bay, we won.
You're right, we won. Yeah.
I think that might be it, yeah.
So, J-Mo, score a touchdown, get a Lions win. That's all we got to do, baby.
Easy as that, man. Yeah.
Easy as pie.
Yeah.
Nick, let's ask you the question. J-Mo or Gibbs? Which burst was kind of get you a little like, ooh, yeah.
They both got me very excited. They both sent some tingles into my belly. I was all excited. Gibbs, it's just so fun that we have these fast guys that are like talented. To me, it was like the Jahmyr Gibbs. And the reason is because I have more confidence that over the next 3 years, we'll see more Jahmyr Gibbs than we will Jameson Williams. They'll both be on the field. They'll both do the thing. I bet J-Mo, like Julius kind of alluded to, like he's going to come up. He's going to be a very vital part of our organization and our team. But Jahmyr Gibbs, I mean, Monty's great, and we have him for a few years. But I just think next year it's going to be the Gibbs show, and Monty's going to be the second fiddle to it. Right now, we're just kind of saving, I guess I would say, Gibbs, or it's letting him continue to learn, because the NFL is a hard job, and the coaches in Detroit demand a lot out of you, and there's a reason why. I mean, we just see these rookies kind of not get a bunch of play time. Some do and some don't. Sometimes it just takes an extra minute or two. But I like the Jahmyr Gibbs because he is so freaking fast when he gets the ball. And it's sure same with J-Mo. Same-o with J-Mo, I almost said. But Jahmyr Gibbs is great. And as a running back position, if you get him the ball and just tell him to run north and south through these holes, we are going to see, it's very Isaiah Pacheco-ish. It's like just burst, dude. He just boom, he just goes.
100%.
Right. So I like the Gibbs one.
And they're both physical. It's like running backs like that, you'd expect them to, make a cut, run out of bounds. But no, Jahmyr Gibbs, Pacheco even, are hitting you in the face. They're going for the contact as opposed to, try to make you miss. Granted, Gibbs will do both, but we've seen him just lay out dudes, truck guys, and you're like, whoa, where'd that come from? Hell yeah. he's more than just, your little jump cut juke back. So it's nice. And I agree with both you guys. J-Mo, Gibbs, both gave you little tinglies in your belly. It was so nice to see you. It's speed. Honestly, I don't think the Lions have ever had, or at least both on the field at the same time. And I can't remember, but I'm hoping that the Lions, I don't know if this was the play where someone came in motion, they took the handoff, then they pitched it to J-Mo. Was that Gibbs that took the first handoff? Because if so, if we can do a Gibbs to J-Mo exchange going like crisscross, how do you cover? When you see Gibbs going that other side, it's like, oh, he's getting the ball. Then when he does get the ball, it's like, oh, he's got the ball. We have to get over there. And then he pitches it, and it's like, crap. The same amount of speed is coming the opposite way now. So want to see some more J-Mo Gibbs reverses, get them on the same, play, whatever, just set them both in motion. But I do think Ben Johnson is starting to get more creative on what he's doing with those guys.
Agreed. We saw Gibbs and Monty in the backfield a few times last week, and it's good to see that too. You just don't know what's going to happen. I like it.
And it's also nice too, because last year we saw a lot of those plays. It's not that exact play, but where like wide receiver sweeps. It was Amon-Ra, and he still gets a couple. But if Amon-Ra, can just not have to do those jet sweeps where it's like he's going to take a hard hit, as opposed to where you can just catch the ball, get out of bounds, lay down, whatever. I like that. I like, J-Mo getting those touches, and Amon-Ra just sticking to your underneath, receiving catches, I guess, if that makes any sense.
Reception.
Boys, it's getting a reception. It. All right, let's get some score predictions and our official keys to victory. Over-under is at 43.5. I always like an over, even though that stupid damn Army-Navy game yesterday screwed me. Academy unders are, going a little side tangent, are like 44-9, so I bet the under on the Army-Navy game. And I don't know if you guys saw, they took a safety to hit the over. Army did, and I feel like we might see something fluky happen in this game. I think we're going to get right to that 40 mark, but some sort of fluky fumble point setup will set up the Lions to not only cover the spread, but we'll get the two score like breaker. So it'll be like 4 minutes left. Lions will either kick a field goal, get a touchdown. That will put us up by 2 scores with 2 minutes left, essentially leaving the Bears helpless. So I'm going to go 31-17. I like it. I think the Bears are going to get some points. That's a 48. Lions going to get the touchdown. It'll be 20. There we go. 24-17. 4 minutes to go. Monty's going to get that final touchdown to go up 31-17 with 2 minutes left. Lions win by 2 scores, cover the over and the spread. Easy peasy. And the X factor, I know I bet Fields to hit the over on his rushing yards, but if we can keep him under, that's the X factor, man. Keep Fields contained, make him pass the ball. I want the DBs to play tight. I don't care if we're having, a couple pass interferences, but I don't want, the 10 yards, relaxed coverage. Make Fields make a good throw. And if he does make good throws, whatever, I will live with that. But just make him put the ball on the money as opposed to, just throwing it, letting the wide receiver come to it, throwing it to a wide open guy and letting the wide receiver just sit there for a second, catch it. So ultimately, the DBs and Fields under yards, what gets the job done for the Lions.
Julius.
So, for my keys to the game, I believe, was it last game that was Jared Goff when he fumbled twice and threw an interception?
No, that was the Packers.
Bears gave me through 3 picks, I think.
Yeah, Bears gave me through 3 picks, and the Packers gave me fumbled twice.
And then the Saints, nothing.
First key to the game, Jared Goff, don't throw 3 picks. Don't have 3 turnovers. Next key to the game is that it's imperative that the strength of our team viciously attacks the weakness of theirs, which for us is our offensive line and run game, and for them is their front 7. We need to dominate the game. We need to dominate the time of possession. We can't turn the ball over. Last key to the game. Jameson Williams. That's all I'm going to say. This is his breakout game. Everybody here live now. He's going to have over a hundo. He's going to go off against the Chicago Bears tonight. We might jump back on live later tonight, and I'm going to call out everybody. I'm going to make sure it be known. Call me out if I'm wrong. If he's sitting at 0 targets with 0 catches going into the fourth quarter, call me an idiot in the comments. It's okay. At the fifth top.
At the fifth top.
This is J-Mo's breakout game. Now, I could have said the defense. I could have said something about the defense. Everybody wondering about the defense. I'm not going to say nothing about the defense. I'm just going to let the defense be. There's nothing you can say. There are certain things that need to happen, and if those things don't happen, we could lose. My prediction for this game is Lions 35, Bears 27.
All right.
Big numbers.
All right.
Julius. Real quick, Nick. Julius, this one's for you, baby. Oh, wait. Give me one. All right, Nick, go ahead.
All right. All right.
I lost the bet.
Hey, you about to bring up our preseason predictions, bro?
Yeah, I am. So I have our preseason predictions right here in May. After the season schedule got dropped, we did all our predictions. Currently, I had the Lions being 8-3-1. We're 9-3. Adam and Julius both had the Lions being 10-2. What do we got right here? Oh, he's betting it.
Oh,
He's betting it. He says, "Give it to me." 5 for
bro.
a hundo.
Bro,
That was the max. It was 70 yards was the max. You couldn't even put him at 100.
Go to ESPN.
Bro.
Bet, I bet.
double the bet. I'll cash up in my end.
Boom. He says, "Double that bet, Adam." He wants
No,
in
hey.
on it.
Oh.
All right.
Hey,
Let's talk about our preseason schedule.
Preseason, that should be fun.
10-2 and 10-2
One
from
nothing
Adam and
Lions.
Julius. 8-3-1 from me. Adam had the Lions winning this game 24-17. You added 1 extra
I
touchdown.
had an extra touch. I like that.
Julius had the Lions winning 41-30. I don't remember what your prediction was just 10 seconds ago.
35-27 just now.
All right, so add 9 extra points. I'm going to stick with my prediction score here. I took the Lions winning 31-30. This, I feel, is going to be very similar to our first Chicago game. It will not be easy. We will be down. We will not run away with this game. It will be a nail biter. The refs will help Chicago. Justin Fields will run on top of us. We are sitting Charles Harris, our starting defensive line, our 3 random ass guys I have no idea of, and Aiden Hutchinson. Our cornerbacks are still Jerry Jacobs and Will Harris after Cam Sutton. I'm just a little nervous about Justin Fields and the rushing that he provides, as we've said this entire season and this entire show. So I'm going to go 31-30. I think I predicted that in May, and I'm going to stick with that right now. Before we go, though, I want to ask you guys a question that is not related to the Bears. This is related to the end of the season. Let's hypothetically assume the Lions get the 3rd seed.
We play at that 6th seed, baby.
Who do you not think but want? Who do you want to see out of these 4 teams? It could be any of these 4. The Green Bay Packers, the Minnesota Vikings, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Los Angeles Rams. Anyone who's watching, make sure you answer in the comments. We'll put it up here. Who do you want to see? Do you want to see Stafford back in Ford Field? Do you want to see the Packers so we can beat them? Do you want to see the Vikings because they have a terrible quarterback? Do you want to see the Seahawks to get your revenge? Who do you want to see first round, first ever Ford Field playoff game? Who would you care for? I'll answer last. Adam, answer first.
All right, I'll go first. Who I absolutely do not want to see. I don't care if it'll be picture perfect. I don't care if there'll be tears at Ford Field. I don't want to see Matthew Stafford at Ford Field. Because the one way a perfect Lions season, win the North, host a playoff game, how it all gets ruined, end of this season ruined, is if Matthew Stafford wins a playoff game in Ford Field. That's not for the Detroit Lions. That takes the win, everything out of all Lions fans. And you might be, believers would even be like, oh, no, we still have a good team. But deep down, that would just like, oh, man, this sucks. And then it would just, people would be pissed off at Goff, and it would be bad. So even if, Cooper Kupp gets injured, Kyron Williams gets injured, and it's just Matthew Stafford playing against the Lions, I still don't want to see him at Ford Field. I don't care if we would have beat him 45-0. I don't want that risk. The other one I'm thinking about, the Vikings, that's kind of tough. We haven't played them yet, so I don't really know how Josh Dobbs and even Justin Jefferson, I guess, will do against us, and even TJ Hawkinson. So I'm kind of going to leave them out. The Packers, they have scared me a bit. That Chiefs game and the Lions game. I don't know. Jordan Love might have something, but I don't really want to face him too. The team I want to face, you're right, Justin, the Seahawks. Sounds weird, sounds crazy, but I want one more chance at those damn Seattle Seahawks. I want to spank them at our home turf where it matters the most. These last 2 games were regular season games, didn't matter win or loss. Sure, you guys got Devin Witherspoon, but guess what? Jahmyr Gibbs, baby, is going to go off for 100 total yards and 2 touchdowns. And I think Seattle, they don't – they have our number, I will say, but I feel like the only person that could win them the game is Pete Carroll. I don't really believe in Geno. I don't think that Kenneth Walker or DK or even Lockett are big enough X factors to win the game themselves. I only think we would lose the same way we've lost the last 2 times, and it's coaching. It's if Pete Carroll put on a masterclass against us and outcoached Dan Campbell. But by the time that time comes, I think Dan Campbell will be at his peak, will be just in his bag, feeling himself. And I think we'll just absolutely dominate the Seahawks. But ultimately, if it's the Packers or Vikings, I would be opposed, just not the Rams.
All right, so I'm going to go in order of who I would want from least to most. Starting with the least, my least interest in playing in the playoffs would be the Vikings. I don't think much of the Vikings. They're frauds. They've been frauds. They had Kirk Cousins. They were frauds. They got Josh Dobbs. They're still the Minnesota Viking frauds. They're not real Vikings. They're not Scandinavian. They're from Minnesota. Next up on the list, I would probably go with the Packers, even though it would feel great to eliminate the Packers in the playoffs. Something that's words would never come out of Lions fans' mouth. Also, this is an odd to my boy Dave Steger in the comments. Packer fans are pretty high in the sky right now after beating the Lions and beating the Chiefs. They're in a nice little winning streak. They think Jordan Love is the next coming of Bart Starr, and they just think they're about to go on a huge run and retake the division and beat. No, I want to end all those dreams. And then I would probably go with the Seahawks, number 2. Because there's a revenge factor with the Seahawks. They done crushed our dreams since last season. We were trying to make the playoffs. We was minding our own business, living ghetto fabulous. First of all, they got lucky last year when we played them early in the season. The refs helped them to a high-scoring shootout win. I never forget. I never forget when the refs let them just kick the ball out of bounds like it wasn't a safety. And the game was over in the playoffs. Just Calvin Johnson, knife to the heart. It's so much revenge factor going against Seattle. I don't like them. I don't like Pete Carroll. Like I said, we was minding our own business trying to make the playoffs last year, and the refs helped them beat. I think it was the Rams for us to not get in, and we still wouldn't beat the Packers in Lambeau. So it didn't even matter, but it did matter because we could have. Who knows what could have happened? I fucking hate the Seahawks. They're number 2 on my list. Number 1 opponent I would like the Lions to play is the Los Angeles Rams. It's because of the Matthew Stafford effect. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is something that has to happen, right? This is just storybook. It's too much storybook. Usually the storybook thing is cliche. This is not cliche. The Lions beating Matthew Stafford and the Rams would just end SOL. SOL would never be spoken of again after that point. This will be brand new and forever brand new as we go. SOL going in history books. We'll all read back on it. Our kids like, oh, that was some horrible times. Oh. It'd be over with. I just feel like it's just that thing, you know. However, if we were to get the Los Angeles Rams and all this storybook and actually lose to them, then we're talking about a low that I don't want to talk about. But that's why I think that this game is number 1 and has to be played, because it's just an SOL storyline that doesn't end until it ends, you know. But it'll also end if we just win a division and win a playoff game. We'll all be happy like this. This is a successful season. SOL is over with. But if we did that against the Rams, it really would be.
I'll take the low-hanging fruit. If you guys are both taking the Seahawks and the Rams, I'll take the Vikings. Josh Jobs would not, or even who's their other quarterback that they're talking about starting over Josh Jobs? I don't remember his name right now.
Nick Mullins.
Nick Mullins, yeah. Oh my God. So yeah, Nick Mullins or Josh Jobs would not scare me at all. Alexander Madison. We haven't seen this team yet. If we did see him, that means we'd be seeing him 3 out of 4 weeks when we played him in the playoffs. I would hope that we've won both of the games and they just snuck in because every other team lost. But I would love to see the Vikings because I think we could beat them twice this regular season and one more time in the playoffs. I'll take the low-hanging fruit. I don't really want to see the Packers after what they did to us on Thanksgiving. I'm not going to lie to you, especially in our hometown. I don't want that revenge. So give me the Vikings, give Adam the Seahawks, give Julius the Rams. I was just curious. And again, if you watch this after the show, make sure you hit up on our Twitter and let us know who you want to see. We're very interested.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, boys. I think that should do it. Make sure you guys peep in on the Twitter because a good chance we're going live for this Chicago Bears game, doing a little stream. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Honolulu Blues _ That's where all the good stuff will be. But check us out individually at Nick Favorite NFL for Nick. There we go. Nick. And the fifth top for Julius. Poking you over there, Julius. And then, of course, Everyday FFB for myself. As always, oh God, don't better hide that ball if we play the Rams, Nick.
For real, dude. For real. That Shohei Ohtani's team over here, dude. Now $700 million later. I'm a secret LA fan. No one knows about.
That's awesome. That's okay. You know what's actually hilarious? I do have some LA stuff myself. I have a Dodgers T-shirt, a couple other things too, because my aunt lives in LA and she always sends me just LA gifts and stuff.
Like my aunt lives in LA, so when I go out there and we go to like a Dodgers game and stuff like that, I'm not just gonna wear like no shirt. I'll buy a Dodgers shirt. Yeah. They're not in our division. The Rams, whatever. Until the Rams do something to really screw us up. Other than like Baker Mayfield throwing a shitty ass pick, but other than that, I'm not. I'll be a fan of the Rams. They got Stafford. I don't mind rooting for them. Obviously not above the Lions though. But go Lions.
As always,
forward.
Forward.